Welcome back to episode 54 of the Last Row Podcast. My name is Drew, and as always, my friend and my co-host and my life partner across the room, Mr. Badway. What's going on, Badway?
I'm not always going to be here, Drew.
I hope you're always around.
With always, eventually you're going to have to replace me, right?
As mostly across the room. What's going on, man? I'm glad you live close to Last Row Studios here, so it's easier to get together here.
It is, but actually I'm playing hurt today.
You're playing hurt.
On the injured list, playing hurt.
Are you on back. The 15-day DL?
Yeah, 15-day DL, but I'm playing,
Was it IR designated to return?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
What's your injury situation here?
Got a bad back, so that meant I got to take off work yesterday, actually, coinciding with the release of Resident Evil 7. So I got a lot of couch time. Right? A lot of couch time.
Recovering on the back. How's your nerves? Has that game got you out of your skin?
A little on edge, I'm kind of nervous to walk home.
What's the hot take review so far?
So far, after 3 hours of gameplay, it's 9.9 out of 10.
Top notch?
Top notch.
Top notch. You playing in VR or no?
No, I wish. Actually, I don't wish.
So anyway, this is the Last Row Podcast. I'm sure you know by now. Our website's thelastrowpodcast.com. Our Twitter is at The Last Row Pod. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/thelastrowpod. Give us a shout out on iTunes, please. Leave a 5-star review if you're enjoying the show. Google Music.
Listen, people.
Instagram.
I'm not liking the slowing down of the iTunes reviews. We got a split to do, all right? And I'm even hurt, and I'll do the split if I have to.
And it's kind of funny because JCVJ is coming out relatively soon. It would be nice to coincide with John Claude Van Johnson.
Kickboxer already came out, all right? Listen, people.
I watched Kickboxer Vengeance, by the way.
The goal is 50. We get 50 iTunes written reviews. We do the split on air.
On Instagram, on air.
If you really want that to happen, people, get your friend, get your mother to write us a review. Even if she doesn't listen to the show, just get us to 50.
We have 43 right now. It shows 42, but
we're all about setting and exceeding goals here, people.
And I will say this: if you're looking to help the show out, tell your friends about the show. If they like movies, we've got a lot of really great listeners. Let everybody know about the show. We really appreciate it. We've got a ton of iTunes reviews, so thank you everybody that's taken the time. We're so close to that split. If you want to see Badway and I tear our groins on Boomerang over and over, in forwards and reverse. Then leave us an iTunes review. Consider letting your friends leave us an iTunes review. Just tell us what you like about the show. And, like I said, we read them on air. Thank you to everybody that's done so far. So what's going on, Badway? What are we doing today?
So this is episode 54. I guess it's kind of an on-demand episode. We're going to preview the 2017 upcoming movie releases.
The movie slate.
We're going to run down our top 6 because, I thought there were 6 worthy of me going to theater to see out of the hundreds of movies that are coming out this year.
I hope we're not tired. I hope people aren't tired of top 6 lists right now. Usually it's a top 5.
Nobody does a top 6.
Yeah.
So,
we should have made it 7.
Yeah. What about 9?
Top 9.
What about 14?
Where do you stop?
And then we'll finish off with a special plot fiction Oscar addiction, where we're going to test to see how well Drew really knows the best movies of the year. I'm going to guess not very well.
See, fatherhood has not been kind to my time and schedule here, so I really don't know many.
I don't think he really knows what La La Land is about.
I don't.
And we're going to test that theory later on.
I just know there's singing and dancing and some hot action of Ryan Gosling looking hot.
He's hotter than Emma Stone. As a heterosexual male, I can say that.
Absolutely. Right? I agree with that.
He's hotter than her.
This is why I watch movies with Zac Efron in it. You know what I mean? He's my boy. What can I say?
It's all about goals.
That's what I mean.
You got to have goals. If your goal is to have abs like a
Efron.
See, I got discombobulated.
You're thinking about Ryan Reynolds. I almost said here. That's another beautiful man.
You got abs on the brain, man.
I got abs on the brain, man. Those abs of steel.
All right, homoeroticism aside, Drew, why don't you jump right off? Get us on our list. Please tell me number 6 is Baywatch.
No. See, you know how hard it was for you to not put Baywatch on my list? You've got The Rock. Yeah. Everybody knows I love The Rock. And you got Zac Efron. But
you love rock hard abs. Yeah,
rock hard abs. Fortunately for you, Baywatch is not on my list, so you don't have to hear me talk about that and get sweaty over here. What you do have to hear me talk about is a very good older looking man who has abs of his own. Somebody by the name of Hugh Jackman.
See, I knew you were going comic books, man. Like I could just come on.
See, and I tried not to,
don't be predictable.
But before we jump into the list, why don't you tell people, what did you say to me? It has to make your list if it's something that I'm willing to go see in the theater. If I can only watch 6, which are the 6 I'm going to go watch?
Plunk down your hard-earned $11.
All right. So my 6 is Logan. It comes out on Friday, March 3rd. The reason why I'm excited for this, right, is I kind of got tired of the Wolverine movies. I really did. I'll be the first. I know you're like superhero, like flatlined.
Yeah.
You're not even fatigued. You're flatlined.
Yeah, it's over.
And we've talked about this many times. But this particular movie looks pretty awesome. It's rated R. It's going to be really, really good. Ooh. It's a different take on things. Deadpool started off with the whole rated R superhero movie thing. I'm a huge fan of Hugh Jackman. He's a great actor. There's some other good guys in here. Patrick Stewart, a.k.a. Captain Picard, is in this. It looks like a really fresh take on it. It's not in the continuity of the other X-Men movies is what they're saying. It just looks like a really, really cool movie. Something different. I'm really excited for it. So, what do you think?
The last time someone advertised a movie that's rated R and it's going to be really cool, when previously their movies were PG-13, was M. Night Shyamalan, and the movie was The Happening.
Yeah, and
so let's not pump the R rating as the reason to watch this movie.
No, all I'm saying is they're not going to pull any punches in this.
You might get happened.
All right, if it was PG-13, I'd still watch it. Now, the question is, are you going? Are you in?
Well, I got to be honest. So when we made this list, we have honorable mentions. And there are 2 superhero movies on my honorable mentions, and yes, Logan is one of them.
All right, so you're in. You're coming.
I'm kind of in.
All right, I'll meet you halfway. I'll give you the $6.50 to make it.
I may not see it in the theater, but I will definitely I'm curious to check it out. On demand or whatever.
All right, that's my 6.
I'm with you.
What's your 6? Number 6.
Baywatch.
Yes. See, I couldn't do it. You had to do it for me.
I actually did it for you.
You had to do it for
I
me.
knew, man, because I'm going to take you with me. We're going to go see Baywatch.
I almost put that as my number 1.
Yeah.
So
it's The Rock, man. It's The Rock first and foremost. The Rock, in a comedic way, is The Rock to go. I know he's a badass and this and that, but do you remember that weightlifting movie?
Yes, Pain and Gain.
Pain and Gain.
Great movie.
The Rock was so good at that. He played like a lovable dumbass, right?
Yeah,
totally dumb. Couldn't figure it out. This is the role I want to see The Rock. And this is the same type of, he's playing a dumb jock. And Zac Efron, who's kind of delightful in everything he's in.
I love Zac Efron, man. Come on now.
He just is.
Come
Alexander Daddario.
Oh, we know why you're going for that one. I mean,
you got Kate Upton to,
kind of forgot she's in there.
To fill out the cast.
Yeah.
Fill out the cast.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great cast.
And if you see the previews for it, we should link to it. I mean, it's a movie knows it's dumb, and it's taking advantage of it.
We'll do that on the site. Let's link to the trailers for all our movies like we did with some of the other ones. But what's your history with Baywatch, just in general, the show?
Almost zero. I never really watched it when I was growing up.
I used to watch it, man, on USA.
The USA Network.
For the story. Not even for the chicks, man. It was for the story. I got to find out how they're going to save those boaters out on the rocks.
See, I was a fan of, remember the show Son of the Beach?
Yes.
That was also on USA. It was like a parody of Baywatch.
I forgot about that show. I forgot about that show.
That show was awesome.
Yeah, see, I like Baywatch. Honestly, it's one of those stupid movies. I remember coming home from school and just throwing it on, while I was just hanging out. It was on while
it was always on. I don't know why. I don't know. It
was dinner time too, right?
My hormones didn't really, kick in back then. I didn't care much for the show.
You got Yasmin Bleeth.
Yeah. I think Hasselhoff's chest hair kind of turned me the other way, where I was like, nope, I don't want to deal with this.
He was stuck in the Burt Reynolds phase where really body hair was disappearing.
It was over and he was keeping it going.
He really kept it going.
Kept the party going a while.
No, but I actually like that show, and I very, very difficultly did not put that number 1 on my list.
Yeah, so I put it not for nostalgic purposes because I have no history with the show. I just think it looks funny. It's self-deprecating. It seems like it knows what it's doing, winking at itself.
It reminds me a lot of 21 Jump Street, that kind of style.
Exactly.
And I love those. I thought those were great. It seems like a fun movie. It's the perfect thing that I'd love to watch in the summer. It just looks like a great movie.
Number 5, you.
All right, so my number 5 is maybe it should have been higher on the list. I don't know. It's definitely not on your list. Star Wars episode.
They're making another one of those?
Yeah.
Jeez.
This one comes out Christmas time, so I don't know if you're going to be joining me in the theater.
It's barely 2017.
Yeah, I mean, this is so they're basically making one at least per year now, so it's
Jesus.
You're going to be really happy with that. You're going to be, Did we tell the story on the show about when we saw, Revenge of the Sith episode 3?
I'm pretty sure we have where, I got a sneak preview midnight showing and I fell asleep.
That way had a 1 week anticipated viewing of probably the most anticipated movie of all time up until that point. And I look over to my left and he's snoring away, sleeping next to me.
Took up a seat that I didn't pay for where someone would have killed to be in.
I could have sold that seat for thousands, Badway. Thousands. That's how much of a friend you are to me.
Snooze through it, What were they doing? I could follow.
But I am excited to see this. It's a continuation of the one from 2 years ago, last Christmas, not this past Christmas. But basically, they're doing the way that it's working is they have a main episode 8, episode 9, episode 10 every other year, and in between then they're going to have these other. I don't know what they're calling them. They're like story
or other.
Rogue One. It's like universe, expanded universe type stuff. But I'm excited for this one. Excited to see where it goes. I won't bore you too much by continuing to talk about it, but
yeah, I'm not going to knock it because like I'm glad that something can give someone so much pleasure, whereas so many people get pleasure from Star Wars.
oh, there's a lot of people pleasuring themselves.
Yes.
Over this movie.
A lot of fanfic going on around.
There's
there.
a lot of fictional erotic stories about this movie,
especially
right
now that there's a female lead character.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, equal opportunity.
But
now.
let's get real for a second, real quick, before we move on.
All right.
Is there ever a possible chance for Star Wars fatigue if they're making one a year?
Yes, 100%.
Is there a chance of this happening?
It definitely is. It's just like the Marvel universe where in the DC universe is establishing themselves, right?
Yeah.
People are already kind of tired of DC because it's like, oh, Marvel's been doing this for years. And the hardcore fans are always going to love it. But I think the general movie-going population, definitely, because there's no end in sight.
Sure.
It's not like Harry Potter where, the books are over.
I feel like a large lore of these movies were like the anticipation. Where it's like, oh man, there's a Star Wars coming out in 3 years, can't wait. But now it's like every year. Like every Christmas, you're getting a new Star Wars.
See, and I think about that when I think about like, kids, right? So your nephew was a big Star Wars fan for a little while there, right?
Sure.
So, us as kids, like I saw the movie and it was back in like the 70s and basically 1977, right?
Yeah.
And I saw this in the 90s when I was a kid. And it's like, for 20 plus years, nothing had come out. The anticipation of that. And then when the prequels came out, I know people were disappointed, but it's something that it was going on. And it's like, you had that anticipation. You nailed it, right?
Yeah,
now with these, it's like every year. It's still exciting, but it does. Maybe this is controversial, but I think it does cheapen it a little bit. It kind of does.
Too.
Eventually, by episode 15, it's going to be a little cheap.
So in 2019, I'm going to doubt that you are going to be that excited for Star Wars Episode 10 or whatever the hell's coming up.
Yeah.
And nothing. It's just I feel like the story's going to be told. It's like, all right,
I enjoy it.
What do?
I'm not a Star Wars nut. I'll be the first to admit it. I do like
you're
it.
You're a fan of the series.
I am a big fan. So anyway, what's your next one?
Number 5. We're going to go with an upset here. The Mummy.
This is the Tom Cruise one.
Tom Cruise, the Mummy. No Brendan Fraser.
R.I.P. Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, he's gone.
Isn't that the internet meme of bringing him back? Right?
He's dead.
He's dead. Badway.
He's dead to me.
He's dead.
The Mummy is just. It looks. The preview just blew me away. All right. So we got the prince, the Egyptian prince, Prince Imhotep.
Imhotep?
Imhotep.
Not to be confused with the emo core band called Emotep. Emotep. I know Dave knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Dave knows. It just, the effects blow me away, and I'm just going to put all my faith in Tom Cruise to deliver, because when does Tom Cruise not deliver? Never.
He doesn't.
He always delivers.
I challenge you to look at his IMDb list and tell me a bad movie on that list. Doesn't exist.
I have no idea what the plot is. I don't care. Just, I'm going to point you to the trailer. Watch the trailer. Be blown away. If there ever was a trailer that sold me on a movie, it's this movie, The Mummy, 2017. It's on my list, number 5. End of discussion.
So when you saw that coming out, did you know what it was going to be? Because I kind of thought, I kind of forgot that the Brendan Fraser movies existed.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, they're remaking The Mummy, the old one from like the, whatever.
Yeah, like that. Monster Mummy.
And they said, oh, they're trying to make an MGM monster movie universe like the superhero universes. And I'm like, really? So Frankenstein's going to exist in the Mummy universe with the creature from the Black Lagoon? Like, do we really need another one of those?
Yeah.
That trailer sold me, man. Looks awesome.
Yeah, no, I immediately thought of the Brendan Fraser movies, and I immediately was like, nope, not going to watch this. Sorry. But that's before I learned about Tom Cruise and before I saw the preview.
Yeah.
See the preview, it'll blow your mind. And I'm not just, I'm not overstating it. Awesome freaking preview. Now, the movie could suck, and I might be duped.
It's going to be entertaining, come on.
But it looks fantastic.
Be real. It's going to be good. On some level, it's going to be at least a B.
Not since Medellin have I been blown away by a trailer like this. All right. So
was it the Doves that did it for you?
Yeah. So
the goal.
I can't wait.
Pretty exciting. Hopefully Billy Walsh isn't directing this. We're in an entourage mood right now.
Yeah.
So okay. So then I'll give you my number 4. My number 4 is a little old movie by the name of Dunkirk. Do you know about Dunkirk, Badway?
I didn't know about Dunkirk until we did the pre-notes. I'm like, what the hell's Dunkirk?
Do you know about, there's this, it's like kind of an indie director.
A little director?
His name is Chris Nolan.
Listen, all you Chris Nolan fanboys, Kiss
outta
my
here.
ass.
Get out of here.
I'm not going to heel off. No, I'm just kidding.
Get outta
He's a
here
great
with that.
director.
He's
And
amazing.
I forgot this movie existed, and then you reminded me. I'm like, oh yeah, that is going to be awesome.
It's
But,
going to
yeah.
be amazing. I don't know if you've seen the trailer.
I have.
will. It's they're like in the boat basically.
Yeah, I just forgot about it. Yeah,
It
Go
looks
on.
incredible, man. I can't wait for this movie. I honestly, I don't really know too much about it. I know it's more on the, so whenever we see, World War II movies in the US, it's always about like the D-Day invasion, but it's always from the American side of things. So it's going to be interesting, honestly, for us as Americans to see it from the British side of things. We don't usually see that side. I'm pretty excited. Christopher Nolan is amazing director. I pretty much love every single movie he's done. I'm really pumped for this one.
He could fart in a film canister, and you and our friend Julio,
And we know it would be,
it would just ingest.
I mean,
it.
that's a Rotten Tomatoes 100%.
Yeah.
It's like how artistic.
It's gonna be great. It
That-
is.
That fart was very, very amazing.
Hard to follow up Interstellar though.
Yeah.
Very hard to follow.
See,
'Cause that was fantastic.
I don't want to go on a Nolan tangent here, but let me
Yeah.
say something for a second. Interstellar gets a little too much hate.
Who hates Interstellar?
People hate it. People bash it on the internet. They're like, "Oh, it wasn't that good. Get out of here." Movie's amazing.
You tell me his name, and I'll go get him.
I don't
said
know.
that.
I see people speak
Yeah.
about it. It's like I don't know what they're disappointed by. It was a great movie.
Well, they're wrong. All right, they're wrong.
All right, I'm with you.
Number 4, sequel time. John Wick 2.
All right, that's on my list too.
Jonathan Wickanowski 2.
Even wickier.
Even wickier.
I don't know. That's the worst colon I ever made up in my life.
I had no colon going into that. I thought it would come to me. It didn't.
I'm not even
it didn't happen.
going to cut that. That's the worst colon
Yeah.
ever. We need evidence of that. we need to preserve that.
What do you say? John Wick 2, Keanu Reeves is back, kicking more ass. Don't mess with his dog. Don't mess with his car. Killed my wife? All right.
All right. You kill my wife, but don't kill my dog.
Don't touch my dog. Don't touch my car.
Honestly, dude, John Wick is one of my favorite movies I've ever watched, and I can say that confidently.
Surprise hit of 2014 or whatever year that came out. I forget.
How can you not root for Keanu Reeves? The Keanu Reeves revival.
Oh, yeah.
He's a great guy. He's a nice guy. He's not really the greatest actor, but who cares?
He's a great, nice guy.
That movie is awesome.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie.
Yep.
The action's amazing. That came out at the same time as Equalizer. And I remember seeing those in the theater. And it was blown away by both.
Equalizer was
They don't make movies like this
as
anymore.
badass.
But they're making them.
Yeah. This is a throwback, and I'm in the theater. I'm in there.
I'll be
and
with
it's
you,
coming.
man.
It's coming. What is it, like 2 weeks?
February 10th.
February 10th. Yeah.
Which
I'm
is
there.
a lot sooner than I thought.
Oh, it's coming.
When I saw, hey, they're making this, I was like, I guess it's going to be here in the summer. It's going to be here next fall. It's like, oh, yeah, by the way, it comes out in 3
Here it
weeks.
comes.
Surprise. All right, my number 3. Number 3, Badway.
Trace.
Fate.
Oh, that's my 3.
Is it really?
So let's talk about this together. Drew.
Tied.
Let's talk about this together.
We're tied, my friend.
Yes.
The fate
of the Furious.
The F8 of the Furious. Did they put it in the title? Please tell me they did. F8.
Yeah. No, yeah. The hashtag is like hashtag F8, which not to be confused with F8TE, which admittedly, when I spelled it on my phone, that's the way I spelled it. It looks a little confusing.
But see, they shouldn't even do that. They should just put F8 : of the Furious.
see, the 8 could also like be an and symbol too. Like,
Fate.
fate and 8. The is there a letter in Furious that could be 8?
No, not really.
I don't think so.
Not really.
You could do like an uppercase R, a capital R.
Yeah.
Kinda.
I think they should do F8 : of the Furious. Really do a play on the colon there.
Ooh, I like that.
Fate :
I like
of the
that.
Furious.
So, what do we know about this movie? We know that Dominic
Everybody's in
Toretto
it.
turns heel. So, how do you feel about this?
You know what? He does not. Let's be serious on Drew's. In Drew's world,
Yeah.
Dominic Toretto's not why I watched this movie. It's really The Rock.
So, The Rock
took over.
So, when The Rock showed up in 5, you're like, I'm back.
Because Paul Walker, R.I.P., is not here with us anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. Aren't they keeping his character alive too?
I
It's
don't
like a
know.
thing.
Are they using his brother again? I hope not.
I think they
I feel
said
like that's
that
kind of cheesy.
they're gonna acknowledge the guy.
What's his wife's name?
I don't even remember.
I forget her stupid name. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Dom's sister.
Dom's sister.
Yeah. So she's married to Paul Walker's character.
Right.
And I think they should just have him right off to the sunset and like be done with him.
Well,
and
they
have a
kinda
nice happy
did.
ending there,
They kind of did at the end of 7.
That's
It was
what I'm
that
saying. They should
sad
leave him
thing.
there. Leave him there because
Yeah.
it's like unfortunately he's dead. So
Dude, he's dead.
he's dead.
He's so dead. Or like it's kind of not really funny, but it is.
No, yeah, the problem is every time I say that it's from Louis. Remember that episode of Louis?
I'm sorry.
Your dad is dead.
He's dead. Your dad. I'm sorry. He's dead.
People are not listening to this. Right
Yeah,
now.
this is like
Sorry.
shut this show off.
It's all
right
my
now.
fault. It's sorry. It's my back. I'm on painkillers. All right. Bear with us.
He's loopy over here,
Yeah.
guys. He's
So-
loopy.
So anything else you have to say about Fate other than it's just a long-standing series and
Kurt
we're
Russell's
huge fans?
still in it again.
Kurt Russell,
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron is the
in it.
badass. She's the bad girl.
I'm gonna be straight with you, man. Charlize Theron's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I loved her
Oh, yeah.
in the most recent Prometheus movie. Loved her
Yeah.
in that. I
Oh,
like her
yeah.
in basically everything that she's in.
She plays a hard ass really well.
She's really awesome.
Yeah.
So I like her. I'm looking forward to seeing how they put her in there. We did a Fast and the Furious episode. I think it was 15 or something. We did episode 15 of the last row. Go back and check it out. We did a retrospective basically before we watched Fast 7. So we talked about 1 through 6 and we talked a little bit about 7.
Yes.
We're fans of this here. We're not talking about critically acclaimed movies a lot of times. We're talking about the fun ones, and that's
this
definitely
is one of the fun ones. And before we move on, let me ask you real quick. So I don't like to look too much into the plot because no spoilers for Fast and Furious because this is where this is where my bread is buttered. You gotta watch this. Toretto, he's bad in this one, right? Is it brainwash or is it blackmail?
I think it's a double cross blackmail type thing. I don't think he's actually. I haven't done the research, so
It's not brainwash. So
No.
so Letty was an amnesiac
amnesiac. Yeah,
in 6.
she was
right?
amnesed.
Yeah, she was amnesed.
She
so
was amnesed.
They can't use that one again.
No. I think it's.
Yeah.
I think it's blackmail. I think
Yeah.
she's got something on him, and I don't know. I think that's where it's going to go. But I'll be honest. I have not looked it up because this is like my Star Wars here. I don't want to know what happens.
I'd rather be surprised in the theater. Yeah.
We'll go into
Yeah.
it with open minds here.
So it's you're up
So-
for 2.
My number 2 is John Wick. We can skip
great.
over that. We already talked about
Great.
that. That was your last one. I'm still so pumped for this movie, dude. I can't wait. I want to be there opening weekend.
Well, then it's my turn.
Is it number 2 or number 1 now?
I'm up to number 2.
Okay, it's number 2.
My number 2 is another sequel. Gotta love sequels. That's what they make it. Everything's a sequel.
Everything. This
Everything's
is the
sequel.
summer of sequels, I think.
War of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Come get me at the Planet of the Apes. That's my shit.
It looks pretty awesome.
Planet of the Apes is so good, it surpassed Fast and Furious on my list of things to see. Like, it's hard to do that, but it did that.
I kind of wish this movie had some James Franco in it. I
He's
loved him in the
gotta
first
have
one.
Gotta have a cameo. He was at least acknowledged in
I haven't done
in the
too
previous.
much, but I haven't done too much. Like, how much further is this? Because he was like dead in the last one. He was dead.
Well, in
wasn't he?
Rise, like I guess it's like it's a couple years later, and there was like a huge like ape movement, and they
Yeah.
kind of like the humans were backed into a corner, so
Right.
to speak.
They were in that like city,
Yeah.
the walled
Yeah.
place.
So this one, it's like Braveheart
Yeah,
with apes. This one's gonna be.
dude.
It's a battlefield, my friend, and Woody Harrelson is the leader of the human race.
I love Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
I love the freaking CG in these movies.
Caesar's back.
Caesar's
Caesar
awesome.
is still alive. And back.
Why did I want to call him Simeon? I don't know why. Like Simeon, I feel like
He is. I don't know. He's a simian. He is a simian.
okay. That's why. I'm like, I thought that was his name for a second. I'm like, what am I saying? No, but I think with this particular movie, man, it's one of these things where when you watch these, the CG in this has just blown me away to the point where you look back in the 90s. And like when they figured, oh, hey, we could make everything with CG, they went a little overboard.
Yeah.
Where they kind of lost their way with the practical
Sure.
effects.
Yeah.
This is pretty much all CG.
Yeah.
But it's gotten to the point where I don't even think in 10 years this is going to look like crap. It looks so good.
Well, I'll tell you why, because the first Planet of the Apes, or like the first of the reboot of this rebooted series, came out, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe longer. And it looks awesome. I saw it on FX not too long ago. It still looked really good.
I couldn't believe it was CG at first. I was like,
Yeah.
did they like use trainers and stuff? Like that? It was Andy Serkis, and he's amazing for mocap for all
Yeah.
of that stuff. This looks really good, man. I can't wait to watch this one.
So I don't know how long this series is going to go on for, if this is the finale or if they plan more of these, but this battle that's going down between Caesar and Woody Harrelson, you got to see who wins. And I have a feeling that Woody Harrelson's going to win, and I'm not happy about it.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Caesar.
So
all right?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson does seem like a total villain.
Yeah.
But
But I'm afraid like they're going to let the humans win. I don't want the humans to win, all right? I want these apes.
I don't know. Maybe this is the turning point because the humans kind of won last time a little bit. So maybe it's like, hey,
Yeah.
they're just full on going to win. Everyone's dead. The apes win, and now it's like then the next one. So what's this one called?
War of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay, so maybe what's the next one? Triumph of
4.
the Planet of the Apes or
War
something?
4 of the Planet of the Apes. I don't know.
Reign of the Planet of the Apes.
There were like 20 of them back in the Charlton Heston
I
days.
have the Blu-rays
I
right
don't
there.
know all the titles, but there's more they could do.
I have
you
the
know?
Blu-ray sitting right
Yeah,
there. I have
yeah.
never even opened them.
I don't think they're following the same story, so who knows?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'll be
Yeah.
there with you.
Nice.
So my number one.
Numero uno.
Can you guess, Badway? Can you take a gander?
I know exactly what it is.
Can you take a gander, Badway?
Is it Justice League?
50 Shades? No, I'm just kidding. It's not that dark in here right now.
Yeah.
No, you got it.
Nailed it.
Justice League.
Nailed
and
it.
This is number one by default, just because everybody knows by now, if you've been listening to this show, I'm a huge fan of Batman. I'm a huge fan of just the Justice League in general. Growing up, this was a dream of mine. So whether it's good or not,
I don't mean to laugh in the face of your dreams, but
that would just crapped on my life right now. And it was a genuine laugh too. That was growing up as a fan of Batman. Yeah. When you see the 1989 Tim Burton movie, you see, the Christopher Reeve Superman movie, you say, man, it'd be pretty awesome if they had a movie together. We got that. It was a little controversial. Zack Snyder directed it. I liked it. Snyder sacked it. Like I said, I still enjoyed it. Everyone that listens to this knows that. But just having everybody else in the movie, it's pretty exciting for me, just as a fan of the Justice League. We got the Avengers. That was kind of a groundbreaking thing. So that was pretty awesome. And it kind of paved the way for this. I'm just excited to see where it goes. Will it be good? Who knows? I'll probably enjoy it on some level. Will it be as good as the Avengers movies? I don't know. I think the general audience is probably not going to believe so because people have a thing against Zack Snyder. But in general, I'm pretty excited for it. So it's my number one.
It's what I told you. There were 2 movies on my superhero movies on my list.
Yeah.
On my honorable mentions. That is actually the second one.
Okay.
So at least we're on the same page as far as so your top 6. Those 2 did make my honorable mentions. So we're all on the same page as far as anticipation of these superhero movies, at least.
And let me tell you why I'm more excited for this one versus some of the other Marvel ones. Like, I have Guardians of the Galaxy, which is my favorite Marvel movie, hands down, of all of them, over the Avengers, over every of them. That's on my honorable mention list. The reason why I didn't put that on this was because I've seen it already. It's a sequel. Yeah. So I was like, I know Justice League is kind of a sequel, but it's still
not really.
It's still kind of the first of its kind for that group of heroes. So I'm kind of excited for it. Is it going to be the best movie I see all summer? No, Dunkirk probably will be. But I'm just excited for this to see it.
What if Zack Snyder
blows us away? What if he blows us away?
What if he pulls a Nolan and just has a masterpiece on his hands?
I don't know. I feel like even if he did, people he's got a perception about him. It's like there's just something about him that people are not going to love. So I feel like even if it's a great movie,
there's already preconceived notions of his
the set's a mess.
Prowess.
People are fighting on the set.
Seagal would want to work with him.
That's what I mean. I mean, we know Seagal would be telling him how to edit.
He requires a director with intelligence. So.
Anyway, that's my number one. Like I said, is it the best one? Probably not, but I'm most excited for it. So what about yours? What's your number one?
Number one, under the radar a little bit, flying in under the radar, Alien Covenant.
I have this on my honorable mention list. Great looking movie.
Prometheus was one of my favorite movies of the last decade, right? I could easily say that. And I feel like that's the type of movie where people are talking smack.
Despite the haters?
Despite the haters, though. So you're talking about people hating on Interstellar. This movie's got some serious heat on it. Plot holes galore, or so they say. I don't think they're paying proper attention to it.
But who cares? It's a great movie.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about plot holes in a movie where we discover an entire, other being created us.
Yeah.
So it's goop. It's a fantasy world. I mean, plot hole my ass. I don't care. And I feel like the plot holes that were, talked about in this movie, they could be answered if you dig deep. If you go deep enough into Reddit, there's people that had far more time on their hands than I do, where they actually describe in detail, line for line, answer all the haters. So Alien Covenant, which is the next step in this movie, I don't know how far they go with the whole other human race, the whole 7 foot tall, all white guy thing going on there. I don't know how deep they go into
engineer.
That. Yeah, the engineer. That's right. I couldn't think of the word. But they do land on a planet, they think it's paradise. Turns out there's, those classic aliens from Sigourney Weaver's days.
Let me ask you this, Badway. Do you think, and we'll never know the true answer, but do you think that Ridley Scott changed course a little bit due to the backlash of Prometheus? And let me explain what I'm saying. The Prometheus one was supposed to be, hey, the set of the same universe, there's all these callbacks to the space jockey and all this stuff, to the original Alien, which is one of the best movies ever made, I would say, hands down. The original Alien.
Yeah.
People wanted it to be that, and it wasn't. And it was never intended to be that.
Right. They're waiting for it to happen. And aside from a closing scene in the movie, they're like, that's really it. And I feel like the end was a lot of fan service, I feel, to make up for that.
I guess, do you think, the question that I would ask you is, do you think that they're changing course a little bit because now it seems like they are going a straight alien now? Do you think they would have gone a different way? Because wasn't it supposed to be about David on the engineer's planet? That was the original talk with Naomi Rapace. I don't know how to say her name.
Well, hold on now. David is in this movie.
He is, but it's different, right?
Yeah,
do you think it's different?
I think that he may have altered it a little bit based on what people want, and I don't like whether you do that, but I still think he's going to make a hell of a movie out of this, and it's my most highly anticipated, just based on how much I love Prometheus. Again, I could be setting myself from disappointment, who knows, but I put this into the Mummy category to where expectations are really high. I could be set down, but I love Prometheus so much, I'll go all in on giving this one a chance.
I'm pretty excited for this one,
and
too,
also,
man.
what you may not know about this movie, but you will absolutely love, we got some James Franco action.
Yes.
James Franco is in this.
See, I'm a fan of James Franco and everything, too. I mean, he's kind of like Zac Efron to me. I'll just watch him in anything.
Also, we got Danny McBride, Billy Crudup is in it.
He's great, too.
Yeah, so.
He's in a lot of stuff this summer, actually, coming up. So
they're going to come back.
Tell me some about your honorable mentions now that we've gone through kind of our... Actually, do you want to recap your 6 first?
All right, so we're going to go 6 Baywatch, 5 Mummy, 4 John Wick 2, Fate at 3, Fast and Furious.
Just in case you didn't know.
2 War for the Planet of the Apes, and 1 Alien Covenant.
I'll give you my 6. My 6 was Logan, 5 is Star Wars Episode 8, 4 Dunkirk, 3 Fate of the Furious, 2 John Wick Chapter 2, and number 1 Justice League. So yeah, tell me a little bit about some of the ones from your honorable mention, because we had a hell of a time cutting these lists down. At least I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I had like 20 at one point. So we had to get it down to 6. What didn't make your top 6, but you still want to try to see?
So first of all, February 10th is like a big date for movies for me, because there's 3 out there that I want to see like immediately. One was John Wick 2 that we already talked about. The second one is Lego Batman, which I know you have feelings about.
I have mixed feelings on it. I'm excited to see it.
See, my nephew loves the Lego movies, and especially Lego Batman, and so I would love to see this with him. But you have a problem with the portrayal of Batman in Lego movies, do you not?
No, I mean, I just thought he was kind of a douchebag. And it's
I remember you telling me about this earlier. I want to get this out on the mics now. Let's go.
I just thought he was kind of a D-bag in the Lego movie, and it was funny, but I was like, I didn't think... I'm still going to watch it. I'm going to enjoy it. It's funny. It's ironic, right? It's hipster, and it's fine.
Lego movies have a certain sarcastic nature to all of their characters.
I know.
And I know you're a Batman purist.
I'm not,
purist,
though. I'm
and
not.
he shouldn't be cowardly. He's a little cowardly in the Lego movies, especially in the Lego movie, like the Lego movie.
Yeah.
But that's the way he's portrayed.
I'm excited to see it.
It's Will Arnett. If Will Arnett were Batman, that's how Batman would act.
See, but I love Will Arnett, but I don't like Will Arnett as Batman.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a thing. It's just,
that's why it's funny.
something.
Like, how funny would Batman's not funny, so you can't have Batman in these Lego movies unless you make him funny.
No, I get it. I get it. Trust me,
he gets it.
Oh, I get it.
So after you put the kids to bed, after Lego Batman, what also comes out on February 10th?
50 Shades
Darker.
Dark.
So what I'm thinking between you and me here, we have a triple threat, all right?
Oh, yeah.
A triple feature. See, we take my nephew to see Lego Batman in the morning, right?
We take him home.
So then, we hit some lunch. We come back for the afternoon ass-kicking action of John Wick 2.
Yes.
And then late night hits.
You get some dinner first.
Get some dinner, candlelight.
I'll wine you. I'll dine you.
We're going to go somewhere fancy, like Red Robin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tell him to shut the light just a little bit.
Light that candle up.
Light the candle at the Red Robin,
Dude, I'm not lying. I will watch this movie in the theater with you. We just have to sit in separate rows.
Yeah, you got to sit one over.
Okay, what's worse? Okay, let me ask you. What's worse? You and me watching 50 Shades together, sitting next to each other?
Yeah.
Or us going by ourselves, sitting alone, like on different rows? Like, it's like, what is this guy watching this movie by himself?
In a trench coat.
You're like Paul Rubens in the theater here.
He's just like Inspector Gadget.
Like,
with a hat and
what's
everything.
Worse? I think I'd rather just go with you.
Just go with it. You just gotta just own it.
That one theater that we can go to, we can get assigned seats. We'll get the recliners. Does the armrest go down? Go up?
Thing is, we could buy the handicap seats so we could really be alone. It's
I'll bring a blanket.
Yeah, like you're on one side of the handicap row, on the other side, it's like there's seats by themselves. So.
I'm not gonna lie to you. After we did that episode, I don't know what the number was. You have to look it back up. We did an episode on 50 Shades of Grey. Kind of excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
Kind of want to know.
Kind of want to know too. I'd be lying if I said it didn't.
I'll go, man. I'm in.
All right, so give me one of yours. What's on your mind there?
Power Rangers. Go Power Rangers. That was hard. That was a hard one to cut off my list, but I'm kind of excited for this. The first Power Rangers movie is crap. Let's be serious.
The first movie or the
movie,
the entire show.
Well, to you, the entire show, but it's something that I grew up on watching Power Rangers, whether it was good or not, whether you liked it or not. I knew people that pretended to watch it just so they had something to talk about.
Yeah, well, I see. I was not one of those people. I just flat out refused to watch it, and not that I didn't like. I wasn't old enough to know what's crap and what's not crap. So it wasn't
trash.
I wasn't poo pooing it. I just didn't dig it. And I did feel a little left out sometimes, but I didn't fake it either.
I'll give you an example. So the way that I've described this to somebody who said to me, "Hey, what's this movie all about?" It's kind of like they're taking Transformers, like what the way Michael Bay Transformers.
Michael Bayed him.
I think that it's Michael Bay's not producing this, but it looked like they're basically trying to Michael Bay it, and it looks cool.
That's fine.
It looks
better.
Cool.
It's better than like sticking to the same formula.
I mean, Bryan Cranston is Zordon. Like that's kind of awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
The way that Zordon looks, it used to be the stupid like crappy looking face in a tube.
Sorry.
I don't know if
Power Rangers.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Now he looks like, you ever see those toys at the toy store where it's like a bunch of pins and you stick your hand on it and it like raises the pins and the shape.
Yeah.
That's what his whole face looks like. And it's on like a big board. It looks awesome.
I dig it.
It looks cool, man. So I'm excited for that one.
Sure.
So what else do you have anything else on your list that you want to talk about before we move on?
So lesser known movie. See, I'm in the horror mood since Resident Evil, playing Resident Evil 7. There's a movie called Get Out by Jordan Peele, directed by Jordan Peele, written and directed by Jordan Peele. The guy
horror movie?
Yeah, the guy from Key and Peele.
Okay.
See, if you watch their skit show, like they do a lot of like really dark horror based skits. So he wrote this horror movie about this black guy who's dating this white girl, and he goes to meet their family the first time, have dinner at their family, at their estate. It's like an estate. So when he gets there, it's a lot of like racial tension, and he's thinking, "What's wrong with these people? These people are racist. Why is my girlfriend's family racist?" But it turns out it's like there's like more to it. There's a more sinister. It's more like I don't want to say alien, but it's kind of like something's wrong.
Like they're trying to get him.
Yeah, they're trying to get him, but it's not so much a race thing as it is like there's racial undertones like throughout the movie, but it's more of like there's something wrong with the family.
Okay.
And it turns into something more sinister than that.
I'll have to check that one out.
And actually, it looks really interesting. And it's getting a lot of like rave reviews as far as like early screenings go and previews and whatnot.
When does that one come out?
February 24th.
Man, so we go like 2 weeks later after we have our triple threat.
February is a good month for movies for me this February. Usually it's a crap fest. That's where they put the crap out. But I got 4 already that I kind of interested in.
I got 2 more that I want to tell you about before we move on. One on another Ridley Scott movie, Blade Runner 2049. Looks pretty awesome.
Yes.
I'm a huge Harrison Ford fan. I love the original. I actually read the book. The book back in college was awesome. The movie is not really anything like the book. It's kind of loosely based on it, but this movie looks awesome. It's got my boy Gosling in it again.
Oh, is he the main?
He's like the guy.
New Harrison?
Yeah, Harrison's in it though. Yeah. It looks pretty awesome. I just love the style of this movie, that Neo Tokyo. It's very cool looking. Just a really neat concept. It's a futuristic kind of society. Those kind of movies are up my alley. I love that. And the other one that I wanted to mention, which you probably already could have guessed, was Wonder Woman. I'm kind of excited for this too.
Oh yeah.
I'm normally I wasn't, but honestly, after seeing BVS, I was kind of excited for the way that they used Wonder Woman. I never really cared too much about the character, honestly. It just was never really on my radar outside of watching and reading some of the Justice League stuff growing up. But I'm actually kind of excited to see what they do for this movie. I hope it's good because it's kind of unique. I like Chris Pine. He's in it too. I'm excited for that.
About Blade Runner, I watched it one time, was totally lost. Had no clue what was going on.
It's really hard to get. It really
I liked it, but I saw it recently too. I saw it less than 10 years ago.
The theatrical or the director's
Pretty sure it was theatrical.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the new one, I don't know if you know that your boy's in it, Jared Leto.
Yeah, I forgot.
Jared Leto is in this movie.
Dude, I forgot.
Even more reason for you to get your ass to the theater.
Yeah, I love Jared Leto.
And one of your muscle-bound boys, Batista. Batista's in
Give
this
me
movie
Batista
too.
all day, man. He was the best part of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Batista bombing people everywhere.
Batista's awesome. He was like the only good part of Spectre, and they basically wasted him. That was kind of just disappointing. Batista's awesome. He needs to be in more stuff.
Yeah.
When wrestlers act.
Oh yeah, when wrestlers act. Speaking of wrestlers acting, I got another wrestler movie. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. Here are the rest of my honorable mentions. The Wall, which is a lesser known movie. I think it's produced by Amazon, actually. I don't know if it's an Amazon like exclusive or if it's coming on theater.
Or
I
it's
saw a
like
preview
that City by the Sea one.
Yeah, not sure, but
Amazon Studios is like a production company now.
It's called The Wall, and it stars John Cena and this other guy. I don't care who the other guy is. They're snipers, and they're in a conflict. They're in the desert. I don't know if it's Iraq, Afghanistan, not sure. But Cena gets sniped, right? And he's on the ground. He's alive. Bullet goes through, but he can't move, or else like the guy will shoot him again, and he'll be dead. And he's communicating with a guy who hides behind a wall, and they got to figure out how to get out of this situation. And that's the whole movie. It's like Phone Booth, or any
Phone Booth.
Yeah, where a movie where the whole movie takes place in one location.
What's that movie, Ryan Reynolds, where he was in the coffin the whole time?
Where he was buried?
Yeah,
it's called Buried.
I like that movie. That was a great movie.
Yeah, so it's like that. One central location, the camera barely moves, just quick cuts between the guy and Cena. That's like it. And it's like so simple that it looks pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that one too. I remember seeing the trailer for it. It looks really good.
Another movie is Life, not the Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence Life, which is one of my favorite
great movie.
comedy movies of all time. Life, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds. Space movie. It's admittedly a space movie.
Are you? So I've got to tell you, I haven't seen the trailer for this, so I wouldn't have known unless you told me. But you are breaking your rule,
space
buddy.
Movie. They're on a space station. Come to find out, they discover life on Mars. Everything's great until everything's not great because life on Mars turns out to be not so great. A lot of sinister activities start happening.
Who could have thought that one?
So space movies up my alley. This one seems to be up my alley.
So you broke your rule twice here too, because you were talking about how great Interstellar was, and I still argue that's a space movie.
You see, as long as if you're not, I don't like people fighting battles in space. You know what I mean?
we're getting to the bottom of it, folks.
Yeah,
we're getting to the bottom of this.
If you're doing space exploration, if it's a NASA thing, I'm all for it.
So you like Star Trek?
No,
they're not really battling.
They're battling,
exploring.
They're trekking the stars, fighting people.
Not always.
Teleporting. They're using phaser guns. Come on now.
All right. So we're getting to the bottom of Badway's dislike for space movies.
Yeah. So, but Life is a good one.
I'll have to check that one out.
That comes out March 24th. That looks pretty awesome. Now, that could be really cheesy. I don't know, but it's got two good actors.
I feel like Jake Gyllenhaal's he's on the way up too, man. After Nightcrawler, he's been awesome. Everything he's in is great.
Quickly, we haven't talked much about comedies. There's a movie called The House coming out. Will Ferrell trying to make a comeback here. Ferrell and Poehler play, I believe, a husband and wife.
I like Amy Poehler.
And they start a gambling ring in the basement of their house. It's called The House. The movie's called The House. It's like The House Always Wins. I don't know the circumstances around it. It just seems like a funny movie. There's no real trailer for it yet. That comes out in the summer. Friday the 13th on October 13th.
So I asked you
watch it
before this started.
Yeah.
Is this a reboot? Is it just another one?
I think it's just another one because what my theory is when Friday the 13th falls on in October, which is probably once every 4 years. I don't know. I'm not a calendar guy.
Calendarian.
Calendorian. So,
you're not a historian.
Yeah. So if it falls in October, you have to make it Friday the 13th. It's like you have to, right? So that one, I'll definitely watch that. If not at the theater, then on demand. And finally, It in September.
I don't know if I can watch this one.
It looks freaking more freaky than the original.
That original
tell you what.
looked like it would scare the shit out of me. I haven't even watched it. It just looks so
the movie is
creepy.
the movie is basically just another being that feeds on the fears of children, and it happens to manifest itself as a clown in most cases.
Dude, that movie looks. I don't know. The original looks scary.
A lot of Nope.
Yeah.
A lot of Nope.
Lots of Nope.
A lot of Nope.
So before we did the show, I put a call out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of our stuff, and I just kind of asked what other people were excited about. So let me give you a couple that we got. Thanks to everybody that wrote in. First one, what was on Twitter, was JJ. He mentioned Ghost in the Shell and John Wick 2. Are you excited for Ghost in the Shell?
I have no experience with it. I know what it is.
I saw the anime.
It's a Japanese anime.
It's pretty awesome.
I don't really have. Is it live action?
ScarJo. She's in it.
All right, I'm in.
It's been a very
give it a shot.
It's been a you should have seen his face light up when I said this, guys. But no, it's got a little bit of controversy around the fact that the character is Asian and she is not Asian. So
can't give the Asian actors any love, man.
It's kind of like the Matt Damon thing where he was in the Great Wall of China.
The Last Samurai starring Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense because he's supposed to be a Civil War guy.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, so then Joe, friend and listener of the podcast, writes in. He says, Spider-Man Homecoming. I didn't mention that one. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Power Rangers, Kingsman, The Golden Circle. First one's really critically acclaimed. Thor Ragnarok, Justice League, and Logan.
You have not seen Kingsman, right?
No, I haven't, but I've heard it's really good.
I saw that. It's pretty good. It's kind of like almost James Bondian in a way.
Yeah.
Like a James Bond origin, if you will, in a way.
Colin Firth is in that too, right?
It was all right for the most part, yeah. But there's a scene in a church. There's like a murder scene in a church where it's like a shootout. And it's like the shootout of all shootouts. It's one of the most amazingly shot, amazingly choreographed fight scenes I've seen. Is it all
like tracking shot, like one shot?
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember fully if it's a tracking shot or not, like one take or not. But it was one of the most well choreographed fight scenes I've seen in a long time.
That was on HBO for the longest time, and I just didn't get a chance to catch it. But it's always been on my list.
Like maybe you could watch it on YouTube if you just watch that scene. It's amazing, just that scene alone.
I'll have to check it out. And then lastly, Chris, friend and listener of the podcast, Chris M, Power Rangers. Again, I love Power Rangers. Exciting, man.
Hey, before we move on, our friend Chris, who gives us lots of love on Twitter, You tell me he has a new podcast out?
Yes, and it's awesome.
What's it called real quick?
It's called Music of the Mat, and I want to give a shout out to Chris because I listened to it today and it was awesome. Basically, it's very unique. It's basically wrestling music, and he's analyzing with his co-host the theme songs for different wrestlers. And the first episode is really good. I'll put a link to it on Twitter for everybody and our Facebook page. Check it out. Give it a listen. I really enjoyed listening to it. It was really, really awesome. I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah.
I love music. I don't follow the storylines in wrestling as much, but I can follow the theme songs and stuff. So it's really cool. It's something I can listen to without having to do a lot of homework.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it.
All right, great. Cheap plug for Chris. It sounds like a podcast he made specifically for me. I'm definitely listening to it. So
Everybody go check it out. It's pretty awesome.
I'm definitely going to check it out. I'm glad you told me about it.
We got some Facebook love too.
Friend of the podcast, Julio, and also friend of
life,
I guess.
Life friend.
He's up for Power Rangers, big time. Guardians of the Galaxy and Star Wars. So this guy's superheroes and space movies.
So I wrote Power Rangers in there, but actually he's not. I just left it there.
Oh, you're ripping him.
He kind of made a joke about Power Rangers, so I just left it.
All right. And our friend Paul writes, it's about time we get an R-rated Wolverine movie in this place.
Starring Paul.
So, yeah. And our friend Paul, he's notorious for dressing as Wolverine for Halloween, and he looks kind of just like him.
It's pretty awesome, Paul. We'll ask Paul if we're allowed to share a picture, but I'll put it on our Instagram page if Paul lets us.
Paul is the king of Halloween spandex.
Paul has some amazing Halloween costumes. I'm pretty excited for this Halloween. We'll start sharing some of our old ones.
And I'm not on Instagram because I'm an old man. So what's on Instagram as far as our listeners?
We got a
putting movies in?
couple folks writing in on Instagram. Chris O says Power Rangers. It's not even close. Then John Wick 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Our friend C Pickles.
The diabolical C Pickles.
The villain C Pickles of our fantasy league says Star Wars Episode 8. And our friend Jesse says Baywatch, The Rock, a.k.a. People's Eyebrow, Zephron abs, slow-mo jogging, cheesy crime fighting. What more could one ask for?
Does Jesse exist, or did you just write that?
No. This was real Jesse.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Well said, Jesse.
So we're almost out of time, Drew. So we're gonna go through this plot fiction really quick. What I've created for you is a plot fiction where we're gonna take Oscar movies, the actual literal Oscar nominations. There were 9 of them. I did 7 because I believe there's 2 that you already know the plot to or possibly have already seen. So I'm going to give you the quick plot synopsis of the real movie, and I made a fake one as well, totally realistic. And I'm going to see how well you know Oscar movies. These are well-known movies, Drew. You should be ashamed of yourself if you don't know them.
Well, it is like 2 a.m., and I haven't seen anything, so, actually it's
I don't
like
care.
3 a.m.
These are such well-known and great movies. You should know these damn plots,
I don't
Drew.
know anything now.
If you don't get more than 50%, you owe me a candlelight steak dinner at a fancy restaurant, Red Lobster,
prior to
with
watching
the biscuits
50 Shades Darker.
and the Caesar salad.
And 50 Shades Darker.
And the lava cake cookie.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can do that.
Yeah,
we can do
so
the lava
if you don't
cookie.
get at least 50%. All right.
Look, I'm gonna psych myself out here, but
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So again, I'm gonna read a real one and a fake one. You have to tell me which one's real, which one's fake.
All right, I'm in.
So I left out The Arrival and Hell or High Water because I know you know the plots of those
I've
two.
seen Hell or
Yeah.
High Water, so
So I'm going to go with the rest. A lot of them are more popular than others, these movies. I know you think you know what they are, but I don't think you know them that well.
I'm
Slight differences.
Getting my pen out, Badway.
All right.
This is how serious I am about this.
So cue the music, if you please. La La Land. Pretty easy, right? Is it A, La La Land, starring Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone? Story of a musician and an aspiring actress who meet and fall in love in Los Angeles. Pretty simple. Or La La Land is the story of Lala and Landon, who take their infectious love of music and spread it throughout 1948 Los Angeles.
Dude, this is... So I know nothing about this other than it's a musical. I honestly haven't seen it. That's really hard.
This is a 5-second test here. There's no
Dude.
time to just tell me what you're thinking real
All
quick
right.
and then go for it.
I'm going for the first one. It's the first option. I don't even remember.
The first one is correct.
All right.
Musician and aspiring actress meet and fall in love.
See, Lala and Landon gave it away. Like, I don't...
Yeah, Landon.
Who's named
What
Lala?
is this, the real world?
Yeah.
Lala is an MTV VJ, and Landon is a real world
Landon
contestant.
and MJ, remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
man. Yeah, number one. I'm going with number one.
total
It's-
giveaway.
all right.
That's why I thought it'd be ridiculous. Get you warmed up.
Landon, what is this, the real world?
Yeah. They're both MTV personalities. Get out of here.
All right.
Hidden Figures. This is where it gets harder.
See, I heard of this one, but I have no idea what the hell
Not
it
Hidden
is.
Fences, as the Golden Globes fiasco. Is it A, the incredible untold story of 3 brilliant African-American women working at NASA who were integral in turning around the space race with Russia in 1952? Or The incredible untold story of 3 brilliant African-American women working in the CIA who went deep undercover in 1957 during the Korean War.
Dude,
Hidden Figures.
I have no idea.
CIA or NASA?
I
Space
honestly
race
feel,
or Korean War?
I feel ashamed that I don't know the answer to this. This is really bad.
Very famous movie.
I'm co-hosting a movie podcast and I don't know Oscar movies.
This guy just had a kid. He has no clue what's going on in the outside world.
I'm gonna say it's the second one, the CIA one.
CIA.
CIA, lock
Korean War.
it in.
You are incorrect.
Damn it!
And you need to go back to Black History Culture Week
God.
year. To be honest,
Coming up February.
Can I be perfectly honest?
Yeah.
I didn't know either until I looked it up. So,
Dude, I honestly had no idea. I've heard of the movie. I knew the joke on Twitter about hidden fences,
yeah.
but I didn't know this one existed.
All
So.
right, I didn't either. But you got it wrong. I'm the one asking the questions, so you take the fall. Ready for number 3?
Number 3. all
Fences. Denzel Washington. Is it A? An elderly man attempts to right all the wrongs in his life before his time is up on Earth.
right. I'm just laughing about hidden fences.
Hidden Fences.
Can you read that again?
Is it A? An elderly man attempts to right all the wrongs in his life before his time is up on Earth.
Okay.
Or is it B? A working class African American father tries to raise his family in the 1950s while bitterly coming to terms with the events of his life.
God. 2. B.
B is correct.
All right. That's a guess too, but it sounded more real.
African-American, father tries to raise his family in the 50s, bitterly coming to terms with the events of his life. He's a baseball player before basically, I believe, integration with the Negro Leagues. So he retired before it became like a money-making thing to play baseball. So he kind of like missed the boat. And then his son is about to get a scholarship for college. And he's kind of like putting him down a little bit because he's kind of like jealous of him in a certain way.
I like Denzel and everything, so
and there's
there's
symbolism with building a fence going on along, and the movie spans through like decades too, so it's supposed to be really good.
It looks good. I mean, based on what you're saying,
It's supposed to be a world class acting tour de force by Denzel. So
Denzel is amazing at everything.
I can't wait to see it, actually.
I'll watch it. I'll add it to my list here. So I'm 2 for 3.
Yeah, Lion. Is it A? A 5-year-old gets lost on a train which takes him thousands of miles across India, away from home and family. 25 years later, armed with only a handful of memories, he sets out to find his lost family and finally return to his first home. Lion. Or, a 5-year-old from Portland, Maine, gets separated from his mother in LAX airport in 1989. With no money and limited knowledge of his home address, the boy must take an incredible journey home, meeting many surprising helpers along the way. Lion.
So what I can tell you about this is I know Dev Patel's in it, but honestly, dude, I'm so uncultured right now. I haven't seen any of these. I'm gonna say it's the first one. The
first
train.
one. See, because I went with the train across India, but I thought maybe Dev like stepped out of India and like did the Hollywood thing. No, you're right.
Okay, I'm good.
You are correct.
Okay. All right. So what am I? 3 for 4.
3 for 4, and I desperately want to see this movie. I didn't really know much about it. This reminds me of the time where I didn't see Life of Pi, and then I did see Life of Pi, and it changed my life.
Dude, you know what also changed my life? Slumdog Millionaire. Yeah. I love that movie. It's
Slumdog Millionaire as well, definitely.
I love that movie. I love Life of Pi. Is
Dev Patel like one of the top 5 actors in the world right now?
He's awesome.
Is he quietly?
He's unconsidered.
Top 5 actor.
He's unconsidered, but he's
totally
great.
underrated.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
All right, Moonlight. Ready for Moonlight?
I've heard
this is getting all of the rave reviews. Possible odds-on favorite to win the Oscars. Do you know what it's about?
No, but I recognize the name, and this is really embarrassing right now. You're really like
getting you.
Putting me out on display.
Moonlight chronicles the life of a young black man from childhood to adulthood as he struggles to find his place in the world while growing up in a rough neighborhood of Miami. Moonlight. Or is Moonlight... Moonlight chronicles a single mother's struggle to raise her 3 children while keeping her low-paying desk job by day and thriving as a prostitute by night. Moonlight.
I think it's A. I don't think it's B. No prostitute.
It could easily be B, Drew. You sure?
I think it's A.
You are correct.
All right. I didn't know if
that could be an Oscar movie.
Can prostitutes win an Oscar?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess what was the movie? Jared Leto did it, but that wasn't him. He was supporting actor where he was
not a prostitute, Drew.
I thought he was.
I don't know. Was he? I can't remember.
I don't know. I didn't see it. Dallas Buyers Club, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember if he was a prostitute or not.
thought he was.
Maybe he was. I forget.
I don't know.
I forget.
See, I'm too busy watching Batman versus Superman. I'm not culturing myself. I'm watching Batman versus Superman and Steven Seagal movies.
It's priorities, man.
It's a full-time job for this podcast
Hey,
here.
man, I'm right there with you. I didn't know a lot of these plots either until I actually did this game. I wrote these up. So,
All right.
this movie sounds like right up my alley.
This is our Oscar prep.
This is like my movie. I'm gonna go watch this movie as soon as I get home.
Moonlight? Yeah.
Manchester by the Sea. You've heard about it, heard the reviews. Very sad, but do you know it?
I think I know this one,
All
so we'll see.
A man returns home after 20 years away to attend the funeral of his father. Along the way, he must answer for the sins of his past. Or Manchester by the Sea. An uncle is asked to take care of his teenage nephew after the boy's father dies.
I know this one. It's B.
You are correct.
All right. See, this is a little cheap because I knew that one.
You knew that one? Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Top.
I haven't seen it, but I do know that one because that's getting a lot of buzz.
Oh, yeah.
That's getting a lot of buzz.
That is like the, see, I believe that Casey Affleck is the favorite to win, like if you go on like Vegas odds. But I guarantee you Denzel's winning the Oscar. But he's the favorite right now.
Yeah, so a friend of mine, Andrew, he listens to this show. He told me that he watched this movie and he said it's the type of movie he watched it once and he has no interest in seeing it again because it's that like that moving
it's
and
an
emotional
whirlwind.
And
right?
that sounds up my alley too. Like I pretty much want to watch every movie that you described here.
Yeah,
all of these Oscar movies are they're definitely worth it.
Like it's like usually when I get Oscar movies, there's like half or like I really like. But even the ones I'd never heard of before, they're like, I really want to see this. The other half are like crap.
The Artist,
right?
Like that was like a thing that just wasn't up our alley,
right? Yeah, but this one, even The Artist, like not even The Artist, even La La Land,
the Artist,
even La La Land. I'm not a musical guy. I still kind of want to see it because it looks like visually stunning, whatever.
I like musicals.
I don't want to see if Gosling could pull off the singing thing. But I have a gripe though. How come every time you make a different type of movie like this, it gets nominated for an Oscar?
Yeah, it's like
silent movie, black and white movie.
Because there's only like one of
musical. Them. If it's a musical, you get nominated. Oh, there's Moulin Rouge or there's Chicago. Oh, win the Oscar, Chicago. You made a musical.
I think it's because of the difficulty that goes into making it. It's a different level of difficulty, but it's like if it's the best of its kind between the songs and the choreography, like I think that's what elevates it. I mean, there could be a crappy musical and maybe it doesn't get elevated, but maybe because there's not a lot of them, it stands out more than, oh, hey, here's another depressing movie about a guy who lost his kid. Like, how good is it compared to that movie that lost his kid? You know what I mean?
Right. I get you.
I don't know. That's my theory.
Yeah. South Park made a musical back in, the late 90s. That should have been nominated. It was a legit genius story.
Maybe
they
for an
swore
Emmy.
A lot, but
maybe for an Emmy.
They won the Oscar for Best Song, though.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the movie.
Oh, I thought you meant the TV when they did the musical episodes.
All right, what's your score? I got one left.
I think I'm at 5 out of 6, right?
You got 5 out of 6 right?
I think so.
Damn it.
We'll have to go back, referee booth review.
No, you do, you son of a bitch.
It's already won the game. I mean, I beat the game, but we'll just play for fun here.
Hacksaw Ridge. Story of a World War II American Army medic who served during the Battle of Okinawa, refuses to kill people, and becomes the first man in American history to receive the Medal of Honor without firing a shot. Or story of a World War II American Army soldier who was the lone survivor of his platoon and survived 47 days AWOL, stranded in Okinawa.
Not gonna lie to you, I know the answer to this one.
You cheating?
Because my grandfather is a World War II vet, and he told me about it. It's
a true story.
Medic.
I didn't even know it's a true story.
Yeah, so my grandfather watched this movie, and he said it was amazing.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Yeah, he was in the Pacific, so when I visited him recently, he was telling me about how awesome this movie was. My brother saw it too. He said it was amazing. So it sounds really awesome. So it's a Mel Gibson movie too.
Yes.
Mel Gibson, he's kind of back on top now after people forgot all.
Can you imagine Mel Gibson accepting like an award for Best Director?
He's going to go on a rant.
Or even Best Picture here, Can you imagine how quick the hook's going to be?
All I remember for him is those like stupid phone calls and the voicemails.
You bitch.
He's like breathing into the microphone.
Oh, my God.
I can't believe that. And he's back.
So
people forget.
You do not owe me a candlelight steak dinner at a classy restaurant like Red Lobster. You successfully completed Oscar Plot Fiction.
6 out of 7, man.
I wouldn't be proud if I were you. I would be relieved.
I'm proud.
I would be relieved if I were you.
I'm proud.
You did a good job. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud and relieved.
But I don't think anyone
simultaneously.
else is proud of you.
No, nobody else. Because they're like, oh, those were softballs. He
They're
got it,
softballs,
right?
They got it easy. But you were sweating for a bit there.
I was a little bit. You
But
started with the harder ones actually first.
Yeah, but you got me. I got there. I got to
This
step
is
my
the
game
first
up.
time. Maybe that's only the first or second time
I got put in my place. Big time. I
So-
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
It's a good game. I like doing these games.
Yeah.
We'll bring them back again. But before we get out of here, we got a couple of emails this week. So Lee, who requested Hard to Kill, along with a couple other folks that requested Hard to Kill, he said, hey guys, thanks for the Hard to Kill episode. It was epic. Made me laugh so much. And he gave a couple tips here. And the one that he said was, I heard somewhere that another title for the film was going to be called 7 Year Storm.
Ooh.
Would you like that better, Badway?
I do like 7 Year Storm. I still can't get over the fact that his son's name was Sunny.
Sunny Storm.
Sunny Storm. I still can't get over that.
The thing I think that they tried to do with all those movies is they tried to say Steven Seagal is, and then it's the movie title.
Oh yeah, I love that.
So they can't
that's a thing
say
that I love.
Steven Seagal is
Yeah.
7 Year Storm.
Yeah,
you know?
he is a 7 Year Storm.
Yeah, it could be. It should be 7 Year Coma.
He survived a 7 Year storm.
And then we got a couple people writing into Twitter. I just want to give a shout out to Chris and Lindsay who wrote in and gave us some of their nostalgia movies and some of their scary movies. So I'll quickly hit you up with these. Tell me what you think about some of these. Chris writes in, I'll give you his nostalgia movies first. He says, number 1, Last Action Hero. Number 2, Short Circuit. Number 3, Small Soldiers. Number 4, Toys. And number 5, Never Ending Story.
Last Action Hero, Short Circuit are two of my favorites of all time.
I those lists match up very well with ours here. And then he gives you top 5 childhood scary movies. Number 1, The Leprechaun, 2, Sixth Sense, 3, Child's Play, 4, Gremlins, and 5, controversial, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
If you see it at the wrong time, I guess you're right.
That scene where they're in the tunnel
Yeah.
and he's like going creepy, or the kid turning into the
Yeah.
big blueberry.
I agree with this Child's Play. My fear of Chucky was well documented. But also the Leprechaun, the scene where he like makes a pot of gold appear in the guy's stomach. Ugh. This is just awful.
I've never seen the
Stupid
Leprechaun
freaking movie.
in my life.
Stupid scary movie.
So, and then
Nightmares.
we got a list from Lindsay here on both. So Lindsay's nostalgia is number 1, The Goonies. Number 2, Sandlot. Number 3, American Tail. 4, Land Before Time. 5, Surf Ninjas.
We should have a buzzer go off anytime someone mentions Surf Ninjas.
Yeah, Surf Ninjas
That's awesome.
I know we don't
Yeah.
typically do straight comedies on the show, but I do feel that a Surf Ninjas episode is overdue here, Badway.
Oh yeah.
If you guys agree, write in, let us know. I'll give you the top 5 childhood scary movies that she wrote in. 1, Ernest Scared Stupid. 2,
Oh, yeah.
People Under the Stairs. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Oh, that movie sucks. It's so scary.
I've
it
never
sucks.
seen it.
Yeah, don't watch it.
3, Dolly Dearest. That sounds like it could be really creepy.
I don't want to know.
4, Blair Witch.
Yeah.
5, The Burbs. I love The Burbs.
Yeah, The Burbs is good.
Burbs
for me.
is an amazing
Yeah.
movie, but if you see that at the wrong time, that could creep you out too.
Oh, it's definitely creepy, but I like it.
So I love when people give us these lists. It's awesome. We did ours a few episodes back. I'll link to them in the show notes, but we have our nostalgia movies out there and our top 5 scary movies that kind of scared the crap out of us growing up. If you guys want to share your list with us, our email is thelastrowpodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet them at us. That's what these guys did at The Last Row Pod. Put them on our Facebook page, facebook.com/thelastRowPod. And if you haven't had a chance to do so, like we mentioned at the top of the show, shoot us an iTunes review. We're at 43 right now. We're 7 away from the split, as Badway mentioned. I don't know if he's going to be able to do a split anytime soon. His back is continuing to kill him. So leave us an iTunes review. Let us know what you like about the show. And, thanks to everybody that left one so far. So I think that about does it for us, Badway. I think we probably talked for 3 hours. It's now 5 a.m.
Yeah, the pills are kicking in big time.
We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week.
I should do every episode on medication. That'd be great.
I'm going to see how far it is before you're actually laying on the floor.
I mean, I already don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So now
I'm going to get you a lav mic so you just attach it to your shirt.
I feel like this entire episode was